I'm Frank Shockley with the Texas Forestry Association Tree Farm Committee, and I've come to Rusk County today to a 94-acre tract up here owned by Bill Snow and his wife Fonda, and want to interview him about being a tree farm candidate, Texas Tree Farm of the Year candidate, and just ask him a few questions, and we'll get Mr. Snow to talk to us about what they've got up here. Bill, how long have you been a tree farmer?
Well, I've been involved in the timber business all my life, but as a tree farmer, I think this place was certified in the late 80s, 88, 89, when we did our first clear cut and replanted.
Okay. Why did you become a tree farmer?
You're just part of a national organization. And this SFI, Sustained Forestry Initiative, it's becoming very, very important that the trees are grown under good conditions and the harvesting is taking place in a good and proper, environmentally friendly way. Logging is not pretty, but there are ways as far as the ground conditions, wet and so forth, that you need to pay attention to. Your watersheds and drains and that sort of thing all need to be taken care of as much as possible. And I just thought it was a good idea to do it, so I did it.
Well, can you tell us a little bit about your place here?
I bought the place in '84, I believe. I clear cut the first place in '89 and planted it. It was planted in December of '89. Approximately 33 or 4 acres, something like that. It had been thinned. I think we thinned it 3 times, and then at age 28, we clear cut it and replanted again. And so we lost a few acres to a pipeline right away and a oil well location, so I don't quite have as many acres in production as I did, but that's just part of the deal when you live in this country. But it's been replanted a year. I've got pretty good survival on it. I'm waiting for the frost to hit and kill the weeds and grass down and go do a survival count on it. But what ones I've done, I'm still in good shape as far as survival.
Excellent, excellent. What are some of the challenges you faced in being a tree farmer?
Well, marketing has become quite a problem. The days of calling a logger one day and he goes to work the next are over. You've got to plan ahead. And oftentimes you can decide you want to sell timber today, and it may be 6 or 8 months before you get somebody available to come work it. And on this particular piece of ground, the weather plays a big important part of it. It can get so wet that you just can't work. And so you kind of have to time it to where the weather is good and the ground conditions are good. Like I say, and the markets fluctuate. It's up one day, down the next, and of course you hope you catch it on the up market, but I've seen it change right in the middle of the operation. I've never had anybody back out on me. Some of them say, well, it went down, but we're going to stick with you till it's done. No bigger than this place is, they may work a week or so in a negative position, but they've always stayed with me. Now, if you own lots and lots of land and had a big, large timber sale, they may have to stop for a while. So that's a challenge to all of us.
Could you tell us what you feel are some of the benefits of tree farming, being a tree farmer?
Well, you're part of a national organization. There's a lobby in Washington that's looking out for private landowners. As far as tax advantages, you grow tree. My primary objective is economics. There's a lot of fringe benefits that come with it, wildlife, watershed, and so forth, but I'm in the business for economics. There's not a 401k in the logging business. And land and timber is part of my 401k, plain and simple. We get periodic income from it, which that helps. And the tax consequences of selling timber, if some people had their way, they'd tax it all away from us. But the way that the tax schedule is, it's not all that painful. But people in Washington have gone to bat for us and have helped us out in that instance.
Great. Well, you have a beautiful place up here on the hill. And driving in, I noticed and beyond some kind of old looking structures, small cabins and all. Could you tell us about that? It's got to be a benefit of being back in here and having a beautiful place to live and wake up every morning.
Well, the one over there that's made out of the round logs, in 2011, we had a terrible drought here. No trees died all over this place. Well, I hated to just throw them away, so I decided, well, I'll just build a log cabin. And so I cut them and peeled them and fit them all together and made just a small plaything down there is all. But I built the whole thing by myself, me and my tractor with a front end loader. We'd pick the logs up and put them up and scribe them and take them down and make them fit. Now the other one, I found that cabin, I have no idea how old it is. It's got to go back into the 1800s. But it's the old hand-hewn logs with dovetail notches. And it was on an adjoining piece of property. And the people finally told me I could have it. It was all rotten down. I took it all apart, numbered all the pieces, labeled them, brought it up here, and I had to replace a few of the logs. They were just too far gone to save. But I put it all back together, and it's just an example of early East Texas architecture. Every log is hand-hewed on two sides. The dovetails are handmade. There's not a nail in it. It's just the weight of the building is all that holds it together. But I just hated to see early architecture like that just rot away, and it's lost to history, so it sits right there. I try to take care of it, and it's just right there. I just hate to see old-time stuff like that just get destroyed and rot away.
Well, it certainly fits well with your home here and the timber around it. It looks like it just belongs there. Well, final question: what do you think, or have a feel for the future of tree farming in Texas?
There's always going to be a need for wood, and wood is the only renewable resource we have. Everything else, once you use it, it's gone. But we can grow trees everywhere, and we do. And at the moment there's a surplus of wood. I wish we had additional markets here in the East Texas area, but the mills here, they're just full of wood. There's enough wood here and enough production capacity that we can just overflow the mills. You're always going to have a need for it. At the moment, the mills are taking about everything we can bring them, which that's fine, but I have seen times when you didn't get to work but 1 or 2 days a week, and that was it. There's no point in the mill taking in more wood than what they can process. I mean, that's just plain economics. So, but there's always going to be a need for wood. It's a long-term investment. If you don't have several years, well, it's not the investment for you. But if you've got several years, it takes 25, 30 years to grow a crop of trees in this country. There's always going to be need. There's a future for it.
Well, Bill, we do appreciate you and Fonda having us out today. Appreciate you talking with us. Wish you luck in your nomination for Tree Farmer of the Year.
It's just to be nominated is quite a thing, because as you can probably tell, I am not a native East Texan. I showed up here 50-something years ago and went to school in Nacogdoches, and after I'd been here a while, I decided this is not a bad place to be. So I've just stayed. That's all I can say. But to think that I've, accumulated this land, and really, you look at it in the long. I don't own this land. I've just got it rented. The good Lord was good enough to let me have it, and try to take care of it and do with it. And I'm just fortunate to have it. Most foresters, it's their dream to own some land and grow some trees. And I've got to be able to fulfill that. But in the long run of things, I've just got this place rented from the good Lord. He saw fit to let me have it.